YouTubers, welcome back to Maxwell Star's YouTube channel. It's been a long time since I posted a video like this. I used to do it all the time, and originally my channel was used for uploading various computer videos of different upgrades and parts I put into my computer, etc, etc, etc. Now mostly I've been sticking to beer reviews, but first and foremost I'm a nerd. Many different types of nerd, but primarily a computer nerd. A couple of years ago, I posted a video of my old AMD Phenom 9600 system. It was called Triton or Ti-Triton. If you look at my back catalog of videos, like right up to the very beginning, you'll see one of them was one of my most popular videos, which actually garnered over 100,000 views on YouTube. Just because it looks, well, fancy. Put a lot of lights and sound. Some people might thought it was stupid. And after a while, after getting a girlfriend, I kind of thought it was a little on the dumb side too. So I downgraded. I sold off the quad core and actually went back down to a dual core. But that was a couple of years ago, and I'm itching for an upgrade. So I finally got the opportunity to make that happen. So I decided to get a few parts for my system, and we've got them right here. So I wanted to do a little bit of an unboxing video just to show you what I've got. First things first, I'm going to turn that music down. Listening to Joy Division. There we go. Alright, so the first things first, I've got my brand new Phenom II multi-core processor. Ooh, what's that mean? It's a 6-core. An AMD Phenom II X6 1090T Black Edition, which means that the multiplier on it's unlocked. For anybody out there who's a nerd, you'll understand this part. It runs at a stock speed of 3.2 gigahertz. However, the unlock multiplier means that you can change the frequency so that it goes faster, etc., etc. It's an overclocking feature that I probably won't use this time. It also has a new technology with it called Turbo Core, which debuted on this processor. I think it's the year-old version. They just launched Bulldozer. That's not what it is, although I bought a board ready for it. It is Phenom II X6, 3.2 gigahertz, 3.6 gigahertz Turbo Core, which means that if only 3 cores of the CPU are in use at any given time, it will overclock those 3 cores and underclock the other 3. So that it can balance the power and the thermal processing of the thermal power of the system. It's a true 6-core design, which means it's a solid native 6-core, 9 megs of total cache, socket AM3 with a heatsink and fan. So yeah, there's that. I'll open that in a bit. The other thing, well, I needed a new DVD burner, so I bought this one. It's a 24-speed LG. Eventually I'm going to get myself a Blu-ray burner. And here's the memory for my system. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show the board first. It is an ASUS M5A88-M, which is a AM3 Plus board, which means that she'll accept the new Bulldozer cores from AMD, which currently, in my opinion, aren't up to snuff yet, so I'm waiting on that, but I bought a board ready for them, even though I got the older generation processor, which is actually still faster in most respects. So, let's crack the board open here. The manual. Here's the driver's CD that's got the typical ASUS sticker on the front. I don't have any of those. Extra cables and stuff. Here's the board itself. I'm just gonna grab myself. Alright. So, pull that out of here. Excuse the rotten camera work. The bag's bunched up. Alright, I'm gonna pause just a sec. Alright, so we got that out of the bag now. Looking at this, the M5A88-M supports an AM3 Plus processor, the new Bulldozer cores. Has 4 DDR3 RAM slots, maximum speed of 2000 when it's in an overclock state, because I think the Phenom 2 only supports truly DDR1333. DDR1333. Just get the standard 24-pin connector, 4-pin, Has a total of 4 USB 3 slots, but 2 of them are internal. Onboard audio, so looks like 6 or 7 channel. Gigabit LAN, HDMI, optical, or DVI, HDMI, VGA, optical out, 2-in-1 PS2 port, more USB 2 ports, PCI Express 16X, 2 PCI Express 1X, and a standard PCI. One thing I've noticed is that they still have a header for the parallel port, but they've removed the floppy controller. Yeah, this board features the new AMD, well, not so new anymore, the AMD 8800G chipset, which has a built-in Radeon 4250 core, I believe. So it's actually half decent. There's a 8800 mobile and 4250 in my AMD laptop here as well. So I already know it's a fairly decent processor, or decent board, chipset. Now, admittedly, it's not a, oh yeah, SATA 6 gig as well. Admittedly, it's not as fast as like an Intel system would be, but I paid a fraction of the cost. Like, to get an Intel system of this, like this kind of specification, you'd have to pay it the ass. Anyway, that's the board. Before I make you bored, ha ha ha. Let's move on to the RAM, and I kind of went all out on at least this aspect because DDR3 is freaking cheap now, man. Can't believe how cheap this is. Less than $100 got me 2 packs of 2 8-gig dual channel kits. Basically, there's a total of 16 gigs of RAM here, 4 gigs of chip, dual channel, populate the entire board, max it out pretty much. So yeah, less than $100, and I got the maximum amount of RAM that board can handle. And it's HyperX DDR2 1600, so it runs faster than the processor can really handle. It'll have to be overclocked, but we'll figure that out. But I should mention that I'm an experienced computer technician myself. I currently don't work there anymore, but I was working as a computer technician for the longest time, and I'm A+ certified as well as have Microsoft certifications, etc., etc. And basically the whole reason I'm upgrading is because parts will end up filtering down to a couple of study machines so I can finally take my Windows 7 certification, so blah blah blah. Alright, so I'm going to put this together and get it installed in my old machine here, which my old one here runs an Athlon X2, what is it, a 4850E, I think. It's an energy efficient version, like 45 watt core version of the Athlon X2 5000. So, yeah, it's a little outdated. And I've got 4 gigs of OCZ SLI RAM. I can't remember if it's 800 or 1066. And of course my last holdover from Triton, which is my Radeon 4850 with a Thermaltake dual orb on it. Anyway, I'll get this together and I'll come back with another video. Here's another little clip. Just took apart the box for the Phenom II T1090T. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that. And inside the box was, of course, the instruction manual for mounting the processor. Done enough of those. The processor's right here. It comes with a little case badge to say you have a Phenom II. I used to be a real case badge whore, but not so much anymore. Been changed cases way too many times. They always get lost. So I usually just save them. And of course the processor itself. So AMD Phenom II. Ooh. As for the processor fan, it's actually really nice. It's got a dual heat pipe core with a standard fan on the top, like a 60mm fan. I think AVC makes these. Nice. Right on. But I'm not going to be using the fan. I'm just going to save that, because I'll never know when I'll need something real nice like this. These things are usually noisy as a bugger anyway. So I'll probably be reusing my Cooler Master Hyper TX2, which I've currently got mounted on my 4850E, which is probably overkill, to be totally honest. It's been on for a few minutes. I'm just backing up some extra stuff, and it's ice cold. It's lower than room temperature almost. It's a nice little case. It's an Elite 340, and I've got my little eye drawer, or whatever they call it, TT box or whatever I forget. There's a thermal take drawer that fits in a 5¼ bay, and my existing burner, which is kind of flaky. The only way it can burn a DVD with it is if I burn it at half speed, so that won't do. My card reader with USB ports. It's only going to have USB 2 on the front for the time being, but that's all I need. And the only case badge, which is the place I used to work at a couple of years ago, McLean Micro. And we're back. So after a couple hours and a couple beer, finally got the whole thing installed in my little micro ATX case. Yeah, most people build a big gaming machine out of a full tower. I tend to prefer the smaller cases now, just because of portability measures. It's easier to carry around if you wanted to take it somewhere, and also doesn't take up a lot of space in the house. For the main reason is that Ti-Triton took up, it weighed like 30 pounds. I kind of like the light weights now. Anyway, one thing that really surprised me is that she booted into Windows 7 64-bit professional right away. Like, I didn't even have to, I just had to install a couple drivers, but normally whenever I do an upgrade or something like this, especially with a Vista or 7 OS, it just crash, crash, crash. I thought I was going to have to do a full reinstall, but looks like I just have to patch it up and reactivate it, and that's all I'll have to do, which is completely awesome. Now, before some people start commenting about how crappy my monitor is, yes, I know this one's crappy. This isn't my big one. My main monitor is a 22-inch LG. Anyway, I've called this one, tentatively anyway, probably will be permanent, the new Titanium Magnus. For those who watch my beer reviews, this is the computer that I'll be using to process my beer videos. Like, I actually do quite a bit of post-processing, if you haven't noticed by the last few videos I've done. And it generally, like a 10-plus minute video will take something like 30 minutes to process. So it's on my old dual core, so I'm really, really looking forward. As long as Windows Live Movie Maker is optimized, I'm really looking forward to this one, like, going a lot faster. I'm probably embellishing by saying half an hour. It's probably more like 10 minutes, but still, it feels like a long time. Anyway, all I have to do is reactivate. Let's get her done. Product key must be here for the new hardware. Well, I'll worry about that later. Anyway, thanks for watching.